All right, welcome back. Okay, so let's kick off. In the first video, I opened e-intelligence, and I walked you through the different tabs that we have, which I call different sheets from home, welcome, SQL, table one, activity, which is the history, and SQL result. This is where your result comes in. Now, in this session, I'm going to be clicking all these buttons to show you what it entails. Just so you know, you can see start modeling is on this page. It is also on the home, the welcome page. Look at the home. Look at it on the right hand side. On the welcome page is also on the right hand side. Not on the SQL. Okay, it's also on the SQL page. All right. Apologies. It's here also. And on the table one is also here. Activity is also at the top there, and finally here. So you can start the application by clicking on the start modeling button. So I'm going to click it right now. Now, as you can see, clicking it brings this pop-up, and this is kind of asking you which of our application would you like to use. Now, the first one on my left here, as you can see, it does what it says, eSQL or ePython on sheets. What does this mean? This means that if you have multiple sheets, you can write SQL to get or join all the sheets or get different aggregates or summation that you want. The next bit is ePython. If you do have sheets you want to operate on, you can also write Python scripts on those sheets. So the first tab, as you see here, clicking on it launches an interface where you can kind of process all this. The second one here is SQL, databases, Python and R. If you do want to run SQL to online databases, or just to run SQL alone at a higher script level, you can click on the second button here. Then you can also click on this button to get through to Python, where you run Python scripts, or you can run R scripts. That is all about the second button. The third button here, which is the AI data generation, is purely offline. What you can do with this, you can run different generation of dates. For example, you want to generate dates in first of a year up till the end of the year, or the middle, or beginning from the middle up to the end. Our AI offline generation system will help you to achieve that. It does more also. You can generate numbers from a start date to end, from a start number to a max number, and also kind of give it the difference, the kind of series you would like to generate. What do I mean by series? For example, you like to generate from 1, and the difference between the next number should be 5, so it will bring in 1, 5, 10, 15, and on and on and on. Now, so that is a rundown of the three buttons. So for now, I'm just going to click on the first button, which says eSQL, ePython on sheets. So clicking on this now. As you can see, just so you know, it has all our features, all our application has voice prompts. So if you have disability in any form, we've got you covered. Anyway, it brings up this pop-up. Let me bring it above. This pop-up is simply asking you, do you want a large report view for above 21 inches screen? I'm currently using a 21 inches screen. So if this is not your case, do not click yes. If this is your case, click yes. If it's a small screen you have, click no. Or if you don't want to use this application anymore, just click cancel. So for now, I'm going to try the yes, which is the big screen, which is the same type I'm using. Then I'll come back and try the no. So I'm clicking on the yes now. Alright, so he's doing his thing. What he's trying to do is to understand the kind of monitor you're using and shrink eSQL to the level that you've chosen. I've chosen a large monitor, so he's trying to get the best fit of my computer. with the interface that will make me run my script easy and fine. Absolutely. As you can see, this is pure next century application in front of you. It has given us our feet of the screen for us to use. On the left hand side, you can see this is where you can write your SQL code or Python, and it has view 1, view 2, and let's see, it has different views there. We have view 1, view 2, we have view 3, view 4. That view 4 is the final view here. Then the third bit is for generate data, and this is the generate data bit I told you about. So generate data is on tab 1. Tab 2, you can delete every single sheet on this application that you don't want, and this is where you come and do that. So that's all for as regards the sheets. I've also covered this bit before. As you can see on the top is model simulation. This is our modeling section where we write our script and generate our result on the right hand side. What do we have at the top? Model simulation. The next thing is visualizer. For visualizer, you click on this, it brings an interface where you can start using graphical visuals on it. There's lots to enjoy in our application. Then, as you know, close button does exactly what it says. It closes this application. Database take you to where you can also run database queries or Python query, but we're not going to go there now. The top bit speed. Once you run a query, it brings out the speed, the number of hours, minutes or seconds, and the total query that came out, the records. Alright, so on the next bit here, you can see this is SQL results. You can click this button to get comments, to start writing comments. Comments simply mean documentation. It goes into the history, the activity tab, which I talked about. You have a run button at the top or at the bottom. And every other thing on the right hand side is the same below here. Let me just bring it up a little bit. Yes, everything on the right hand side here, from guide, copy, view, clear, they're all below here. That is really all about this particular the large interface. So I'm just going to click on close button now, and we are now going to go to the smaller one. Alright, so that's gone. As you can see, let me close this one also. Yep, now we are back here. How easy and smooth that went. So I'm going to click the start button again. As you can see, this now brings me to the same place I was. If I click on this button again, it just asks me really if I want the small or the big screen. So for this demo now, I'm going to be using, let me bring it above. I'm going to be using the small screen. So the question is, do you want large report view for above 21 inches? I don't want that. I want a small view. I'm going to click on no, and see it brought a mini version of what we just saw. Just so you know, I'm currently using a large screen. If you're using a small screen, this will fit totally your 14 inches monitor, laptop, notebook, whatever you have, or your 15 inches monitor. So this is for you. Alright, so the same model simulation, the same thing you saw, the same thing I talked about in the large screen. That's just a duplicate here, but a mini version that has the same power. There's no difference between the small and the big interface. So you have still sheet 1, 2, 3, and generate data, which you have generate data there, and the delete sheet, and that's all. Okay, so that's all about this. I'm going to close this one down, and that means we've covered now one of the feature there. Clicking it again, we've covered this one where it's ESQL or ePython on sheets. I'm going to go to the second bit now and click on this to run it. Clicking on this, it shows you the same kind of interface, but definitely to be taking you to some other application we have. It asks you again the same question: do you want this to be run on the large screen or small screen? I'm going to click no, because I want now the small screen. You can see a mini version looking fine and simple. On this mini version, like I said, is this to be the same thing as the bigger one. What do we have here? Okay, because I'm recording, oh, that's true. I might go to the bigger version to explain. If you're not seeing this one clearly, just bear with me. I'm going to go to the bigger version now to make it clearer. So on these bits, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 tabs there. The first tab is where you run this. You run the SQL query. Before you run some SQL query, as you know, if you're a data analyst, you need to have on the right hand side, you need to have the server name, the database name. These are the two required fields, as you can see, required. For the username and the password, sometimes they are optional because of the kind of database you are working with. That's really all about the SQL. You can start writing your SQL here. Once you finish, you click on the run button here or there. So the same thing on is just different views. On this particular view you see here, you can still write your code. You pick a graph and it shows here. And the next bit is the Python, where you write Python script. You click on Python, or you click, if you write R script, you click on R. The last bit here is where you click on this, it takes you to SQL on Sheets. This is how the interface is, nice and simple. The top bit here, if you click on Excel window, what this does is to kind of launch your Excel. Like you can see, Excel resize is going to make it it's going to kind of split it horizontally. I'm not going to do it now. I'm going to do it when I have the bigger screen. So comment there and also speed. I'm going to close this one now. For time's sake, I'm going to click on start model again. In the middle, click the middle one. This time around, I'm going to click yes, because that will be big enough for you to see. Yes, because I'm using, as you can see, the same pop-up. I click yes. It will now give me a bigger interface. Fingers crossed. So the bigger interface should be able to make me explain clearly what I am talking about. And in this particular one, I might just use the feature of resizing the screen. So what it's doing at the moment now is trying to gauge my the kind of system I use, the width of my system, the length of my system, and bring in the best fit for my system. So what are you going to see next? As you can see in front of you, it has brought in a wonderful database interface. This is it here. I can move it along. As you can see, behind is the full Excel sheet there. I'm just going to leave it here. It places it perfectly at the bottom where you can write your script here. As you can see, I can write select top 5. Let me put it well. Select, for example, top 5 star. That's all. Then I say from any table, from just say table 1. So you put your script here and you click this run button, or this one at the bottom right here, bottom right. But before you do that, you know you're writing your SQL on a database. The same thing, you should be able to put your server name, your database name, your username and password. Like I said, it might not be username or password will not be important if you're running Windows authentication. So I'm going to demo all these parts in our